see the Diddy video?
Where he beats the shit out of that lady? Yeah, that was wild.
What's incredible to me is that he wouldn't just put pants on real quick. Like, he does it in a towel. Put a shirt on.
I don't know, man. If it's time to get active, you got to get active. You don't have time. Like, I've seen people get in fights just ass naked. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, if you have to fight someone, you don't get the luxury of putting on your pants first.
So if you have to fight a woman, it's urgent to the point where you can't put pants on.
He obviously, in that moment, felt that it was imperative that he beat the shit out of this lady.
Day 93 under the dome. With necessities growing dangerously low, who knows what spark will set off this powder keg?
I can't take another minute in the stone! First of its kind, the first dome anywhere.
Good old Barney Gumble in the Simpsons movie.
He gets sober a couple times and you feel good for him, and then he relapses hard.
I'm pretty sure he's still sober.
Really?
Yeah, I swear to God, like way back in the day, he got sober, and he's still sober to this day. There might have been an episode where he relapses, but I guarantee you that episode ends with him being sober. For some reason, it was no longer funny
For him to be a drunk?
Yeah, which, come on. Like, you gotta have your drunk character, you know? They don't age, you know what I mean? It's inconsequential that this man lives a life of drunkenness, because he's going to be, like 35 for the rest of his life, or however old Barney is.
He must be younger than that. He just looks older because he's all fucked up.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure the Homer Simpson canonically is, like, in his mid-30s. I swear to God. Let me just check this out. How old is Homer Simpson? There was 34 to 36.
That makes sense.
By season 18, they've declared that he's 40.
Oh.
They made, but there was, the timeline is so weird because it's a cartoon, and
that is
time
funny.
Isn't real.
Did you see the Diddy video
where he beats the shit out of that lady? Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, that was insane, dude.
What's even more insane is it means nothing. Everyone already hates Diddy. Diddy's not gonna get his reputation back.
But he was also still claiming he was innocent. Like, he was randomly saying shit. I think I saw either a tweet or a post on IG where he was like, everything that's being said about me is lies. What's incredible to me is that he wouldn't just put pants on real quick. Like, he does it in a towel.
Yeah.
He put a shirt on.
I don't know, man. If it's time to get active, you got to get active. You don't have time. Like, I've seen people get in fights just ass naked. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, if you have to fight someone, you don't get the luxury of putting on your pants first.
So if you have to fight a woman, it's urgent to the point where you can't put pants on.
He obviously, in that moment, felt that it was imperative that he beat the shit out of this lady, and he did not have time to dry off.
I'm committed to leaving hotel rooms with pants on. I ain't never left a hotel without pants on and had it go well. Oh well, shit just be like that sometimes. Should they get a fine?
Yeah, I'm streaking through the Hilton trying to find this girl so that I could start hitting. Yo, P. Diddy, bro, why are you doing that? Yo, you should know better, you hoe.
In a towel at the Marriott, about to slop a thought because she really didn't act in a way that I got pleasure out of. Yeah, I'm about to drink some hot rum.
Yo, Diddy, take 5. Maybe you should go and dry. Use that towel, maybe rub your eyes. You pretty wet, and you look like a threat. So you don't do something you'll regret.
Completely, literally kicks her while she's down.
Jesus.
It's something real profound. And if you watch it with sound, that would really astound.
Yo, those security tapes getting HD these days.
I heard that he paid off somebody to keep the footage or not release the footage.
I'm sure that lady is a billionaire now.
I think it's Casey or Cassie. I think it's Cassie.
Yeah.
And I think he quickly settled for $40 million or something like that.
Right. I think it was whatever state this happened in, the local.
New York.
It was New York, yeah. So the NYPD put out a post on their Instagram addressing the video, and they were just like, "Look, this is very disturbing, and we've received multiple reports about this. Unfortunately, as this happened in 2016, like we are no longer able to place valid charges and whatnot. Like, so I guess the NYPD is just sick of the reports coming in. They're just like, yo, chill. We know we can't do anything about it. Come on.
That's so crazy. I mean, his reputation being ruined is significant. But
It's literally just on top of this is just the banana peel on the top of the trash pile before it gets taken out. Like, it's already full. You know what I mean? Like, what's one more banana peel?
I had a moment at the gym today where a guy was watching the TV, and then another guy was like, "You see that yet?" The guy was like, "Nah," and then I interjected. And then we were all talking about this common thing, like it was sports. And
What was the thing?
It was the Diddy video. It was on at the gym.
Oh, why was it? Is this on the news or something?
It was just on the news.
That's how some guy gets jacked to work out. He's like, "Oh man, put on that classic Diddy vid. I need my motivation."
It's just funny that you're watching this negative shit at the gym when you're trying to do something positive. Like, can we have videos of something more constructive than the news?
I do feel like the news at the gym should be curated more. Like, you shouldn't just toss on ABC7 and leave that on.
Maybe ESPN.
But then you get no news. What I'm saying is, like, the gym news should be like 24-hour fitness should have their own sort of.
Yeah, this week in 24-hour fitness news, Kayla in Connecticut lost 30 pounds. And so could you if you sign up for personal training.
They do actually have that at the gym.
They have like announcements.
Well, they have like in between, their music video channel.
Yeah.
In between music videos, sometimes they'll do little infomercials of success stories. And,
yeah. Or they'll be like,
some guy came in his wheelchair and look, he's walking now.
This guy came in being white and now he's a black guy.
He's a big, strong black man.
And he's back with his girlfriend. They also show ideas for like breakfasts. Be like, oh, here's a quick tip on how to make a healthy breakfast, and it'll be like somebody pouring boiled water and oatmeal. I'm like, okay, great idea.
It's like the equivalent of just making ramen or whatever.
I've mixed delicious protein powder with so much oatmeal that I don't even remember what normal oatmeal tastes like.
Yeah, I kind of went through an oatmeal phase back in the days. Yeah, put me in the craze. I was getting it in them little packets, bitch, and I would put it. Then I put the hot water, then I mix. Ooh,
oatmeal craze. Ooh. Had to escape the maze. Now in the afternoons, I'm eating maize. That's a different word for corn.
Yep.
I'm listening to corn, watching lots of porn.
Eating corn every morn. Yeah, you know me, I get it in. Yeah, I'm at the fucking gym, getting squats done. Yeah, I need my oatmeal. Yeah, you know me. Hey, girl, how that throat feel?
Quaker, you more like a faker. Livia Baker. Use a stray nerd. I slay turds.
Oatmeal every day, yeah, that's just me every day. Yeah, I make that breakfast for free every day. It's actually quite very cheap every day.
I had a bagel today too. What do you know about a bagel?
Bro, I fuck with bagels, but considering the current socio-political climate surrounding bagels,
it would be actually, a political statement to eat bagels.
One could argue that you're being quite progressive by eating a bagel, especially if it had lots of lots.
Yeah, eating it at a like college campus right now.
Now maybe you wouldn't want to do that. I just think of that Family Guy episode where it's just a cutaway gag where Peter and Quagmire have sworn off women forever, and so they just spend their time fucking bagels in their mansion because they're millionaires.
Because they became millionaires by not chasing women?
Yeah, that's like the implication. I'm going to go microwave a bagel and have sex with it.
I feel like there is a level of if you were an incel and then you were like, you know what? I'm just going to swear off women and work hard, you probably would get further along than if you made an attempt at becoming good with women.
Well, that is, I think, where the incel movement is really falling short. They act in their brain. They are what you described,
Grinding.
but they still want to go online and insult sex workers and talk about how like all women are trash and only go for chads.
They claim that they're grinding, but they're actually projecting on the internet.
What would really bring incels to a place of honestly renowned respect is if they were more like monks who just have made it a point to, women exist and they're fine. You know what? It's great. It's actually cool that they won't have sex with me because it means that I get to do all these things that I want to do.
Yeah, my life's work.
If they could just cross that bridge, then people would love incels.
They would stop being incels then. Because everybody would be like,
they'd want to fuck them?
Women would be attracted to someone.
Get pussy? Damn it.
It doesn't work. You can't be a cool incel and remain an incel. You're going to transition out of it.
No, it's true. Because I do not actively chase women in the slightest. So one could argue that I have incel tendencies, but I would never turn down a piece of pussy if it presented itself to me.
A piece of it.
Just a spot of it. And nor do I think any negatively of women because I guess the underlying factor is I know that I could if I wanted it kind of thing. Whereas
that's good enough for you.
Incels, I think they believe that that no matter how much
the game's rigged against them.
Yeah. So I guess I can't really make that comparison.
I think also the incel is unlucky at a young age, develops beliefs about the opposite sex, and then falls into like a dry streak that doesn't include any success stories. Like if you've gotten a girlfriend or if you've gotten it with a girl or two by the time you're 19, 20, at that point, if you developed incel tendencies, you still have this belief like, hey, I've sealed the deal before. You still have that self-belief. I think if you're just a virgin for a long time and then you get into this just streak of never getting it, then you don't have the self-belief.
Part of me thinks that if I wasn't raised in Christianity in my high school years, I probably would be an incel. Like, because I wasn't getting any, but there was this cushion of I can't because of God, and that's just how it is.
It's not my fault. It's God's fault.
There was like this air of self-righteousness that lended itself to me not ever getting any, which non-religious incels do not have. So it's all negative in their heads.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you didn't develop a personality.
Right. I'd have no desire to shoot up any buildings whatsoever or write any manifestos.
That's a lot of writing. That would kind of defer me from doing it because I'd be like, I just don't want to write all these words right now.
Some of them aren't that bad. Most of them are trash.
What about a video manifesto?
Yo, video manifesto, bro. Yeah, yet I'm gonna show up at your school, ho. Yeah, ooh, yeah, because you didn't touch my penis, yo. Why did I mention that?
I'm pretty sure the dude from Virginia Tech, the one that was Asian, he posted a YouTube clip. He didn't really even have to sit and write the shit.
Nah, dude, that's an OG classic vid, and he's looking really mad as shit in that video, looking hella scary. Yeah, with his freaking fuck.
Nothing like that helicopter footage to make you really get some courage and feel afraid for that school. Doing that shit really isn't cool.
Also, when it's a one-man show, something about it, yo, you gotta blow. You might as well make a fucking video. A manifesto, yo, that's so shitty, bro.
Yeah, I'd rather be a high school shooter than an incel.
They're often
both
hand in hand. Yeah. Rarely are schools shot up because the guy is getting so much pussy and he's upset about it. You know what I mean?
That's a 100% point.
It's, in fact, there's never been any great political reason. It's always just they pick on me, so it's time to settle the score.
Yeah. Well, it seems like the adult shootings those are the fucked up ones.
Right. Those usually have some kind of motivator behind them.
4chan.com.
Right. Or there was that one kid that shot up the black church or whatever.
Ooh,
and
yeah.
I guess that guy was pretty young. So, but it wasn't a school. The school shootings are almost always.
It's getting bullied socially.
Just I'm a loser, so I got to shoot up this.
Is
school.
that good enough reason to just shut down schools?
I think that they're just. I don't know. Like it's the parents' fault. At the end of the day, I genuinely believe that it's I would know if my kid was gonna shoot up a school. If like I would see instances and I would notice things about them, and I'd be like, all right, something needs to be done. First of all, it would never get to that point because in lieu of them having some kind of social disorder, like an actual brain problem,
Yeah.
I guarantee you I would like be in that kid's life enough to and listen to them and all this shit, and it would be a healthy environment. They would never have the desire to shoot up a school, which so I can't really wrap my brain around how.
I have the solution, dude.
Okay,
Here's what you do. You eliminate schools because schools they suck. Teachers don't get paid enough. They're teaching kids the wrong shit anyways. You make bringing your kid to work legal. Everybody who has kids, you're allowed to bring your kid to work. And then the place that you work at has the kind of infrastructure to raise all the employees' kids. So the same way that
there needs to be some kind of education.
That's what I'm saying. So there would be like a school program at your job.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there are some places that have that.
Like you go work at Chipotle, all the kids are in the back fucking doing math.
Yeah, but then you have to have the Chipotle math teacher or whatever. Like, is it going to be one person?
One avocado plus one avocado equals $7.99 for the employee.
Yeah, that costs extra. What was I going to say? In my high school and elementary school, it was not uncommon for one teacher to teach multiple subjects.
Yeah,
which was probably just due to the fact that it was a shitty school. But I like. It's what you're saying is doable. I just think it's totally unfeasible.
No, of course there would be way too much change. Speaking of like bad teachers, you heard about this this predatory math teacher in the UK, Rebecca Joins?
No, I don't think so.
Well, so I want to clarify this. There's a lot of people who have commented the hack joke that if a guy is a predator towards 15-year-old girls, it's fucked up. But if a lady teacher tries to fuck a 15-year-old boy, then that kid's lucky angle. So I'm not going with that angle on this.
Okay, good.
So here we go. Rebecca Joins was already suspended from a high school job and bail after engaging in sexual activity so there's two different boys.
How'd you get another job after being fired for this already?
Well, no, I started reading the second paragraph.
Oh, okay.
She's been found guilty, and she had already been suspended prior to being found guilty.
Okay.
Sexual activity with boy A, 15, and then she began a sexual relationship with the second youngster. It says on here, boy B.
Well, hey, those kids aren't shooting up any schools. There we go.
It's true. Boy B, who she later became pregnant by.
Yo, you don't want to get preggo with some guy who's only 17 years old. He's probably younger than that. They said youngster, and they're not saying his name, and this is in the UK, so...
One of my dreams when I was 15 was to get it with the lady who would teach me. That would have been a real petri dish for me. Ooh,
I would have liked that if she said,
so
yo,
much.
See me after class and I'll give you head and I'll give you an A if you eat me out. And I would be like, hey, that sounds great, wow.
My high school degree would have been A+++, cause I just bust. With that lady, I just thrust. Yeah, in God we trust.
Yes, but on a more serious note, she's a predator and she deserves what she go.
Of course.
Yeah, she needs to go to prison and such. Yo, she'd not be looking for little boys to touch.
Softly spoken and described by the teenagers as really pretty. Joins closed her eyes and grimaced before she began visibly shaking. This is when she found out she was guilty. Okay, in the case of boy A, she gave him all but one of the digits of her phone number as a problem-solving exercise. He had to figure out the last digit. and then they were communicating on Snapchat. He sent her flirty text. They met up in secret. She took him shopping and bought him a $350 Gucci belt and went back to her place where they had sex. And then they recovered his semen from the bedsheets later. The cops found his semen on the bedsheets. Evidence. And then Boy B said sexual activity began when he was 15 with kissing and full sex when he was 16 while he was still her student. And then she had a breakdown, moved back in with her parents. And she said she had a low point when Boy B messaged her on Snapchat asking how she was. She says, I thought he genuinely cared. Soon Boy B was also messaging, get your tits out.
Woo!
So the boys are, like, they're little pervs. I mean, obviously they were groomed, but it's just funny because it gets to a point where basically one of them gets her pregnant and then she's like excited and wants to have a kid with him. And he's like, I thought we were friends with benefits. What the fuck? The predatory aspect of an older woman trying to get with a teenage boy isn't the sex. She lures him with sex and then tries to get him to fall in love with her.
Right.
That's the grooming.
It's very, very pathetic, unfortunately. Like you're like, I'm almost like, I don't want to dip my toes into like sympathizing with her whatsoever, but I have to be like, yeah, what happened to this lady to where now she's like, this is her ideal type. And I heard a story just this week. There wasn't any sex involved with underage.
Boo.
But it was about a lady who she's a social worker and then just randomly was like, you know what? I'm going back to high school. And she came up with all this fake paperwork to claim that she was 12 and enrolled in a high school and was in like stayed in the high school for like a year or whatever.
Well, she must have been like 4. You go to high school when you're like 14, right?
It might have been junior high or whatever. She was claiming to be 12 and 13 or whatever.
Wow.
Like I think it started at 12 and then she was discovered at 13. And it was kind of interesting because she went really elaborate with it. She invented a domain online that looked a lot like the official Massachusetts government website or whatever for social workers, and she claimed that she was in like the foster system, so that's why like there wouldn't be any like parents to verify or anything like that, and it was working for a while, honestly, and then eventually one of the teachers discovered the website domain was fucked up, but I think that there's something to compare there where almost like this lady isn't even able to like exist in the adult world. Like something is so stunted in her emotionally and mentally, where she would do something so insane. Like that is to do all that work to get back into high school or whatever. It seems absolutely crazy to me
because she's like perceiving herself as more powerful than all these children.
But there's also, I will say, like every now and then there's like you get a thought that creeps in where you're like, man, if I could redo high school, this is what I would do different, like shit like that. And it's a little depressing, but you get over it like that, and then you move on with your life. You pay your next bill or whatever. But this lady didn't do that. She somehow wanna go back. Call me Billy Madison, yeah, I'm Happy Gilmore in the 7th grade class. Yeah, I'm 12 years old, trust me, it's a fact. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Back in high school, I was getting high. And I was, the kind of guy who always wanted to look fly. So I had the shoes with the socks on the inside.
I swear, I'm 12, I know I look like I'm 30, but it's okay, yo, don't get flirty, because yeah, that would put me in a weird position. I can't blow my cover. Hey, did I mention?
Faking like I'm 12, about to go to hell. Yeah, all of these kids, they see me cast a spell over them, acting like I'm not old as fuck. Yeah, I'm got fucking tampons.
I get to be in the school play. Hey, yo, what can I say? It's amazing, bro. I'm only 12 years old, I swear. Yo, just listen to what you're told.
You know what it is, too? I think in high school, or this was my experience, maybe not everybody, but in school, there's always a good amount of people who like believe in you and like you and like encourage you. And when you become an adult, that isn't the case.
That's true.
You don't have like these 9 figures who are wiser and older than you being like, it's going to be all right. It's, you know, you're doing great. You have a lot of potential. Instead, as an adult, you're just eating a bag of dicks all the time and you have to like believe in yourself. And if you didn't develop enough as a child, you sort of are like, man, I want to go back when all these people believed in me.
Yeah, for sure.
But nobody fucking believes in me now. It's not that. It's just you like, you haven't really. It's the real world. Who do you want to fucking believe in you?
I do think that there is some underlying aspect of that in these types of predators. Maybe not so much with. It's definitely a whole nother step to like fabricate shit to be.
It's a whole different thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
but still, there's something about like that lady was only 27 and she was working in a high school. Like, why are you working in a high school?
Like the idea that she would ever even be like emotionally attracted to a young boy like that, because I'm not even attracted to like 23-year-old girls. I'm just like, this annoying young woman or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
It's one of those things. Like, of course, I'm physically attracted to them, but I would never be able to like spend that time with them.
Yeah,
Like,
unless you were like filming porn, you wouldn't you wouldn't be able to get to the point where you're actually having sex.
Right? Yeah. It's like, I don't know. So it's bizarre for me.
It says a lot about her character that
Right.
she's able to pursue that in spite of the like. There must not be that big of a emotional and intellectual distance between them.
Yes, that and
Or she's a psycho insane bitch.
it's both. I mean, the fact that there's not that much like little boys are psycho insane bitches. You know what I mean?
So it's a perfect match.
Yeah. So there is kind of like,
Dude, I wanted to fuck my teachers so bad.
there were a couple that I definitely thought were very attractive.
Like, fantasized about many times about many different teachers. And it was only because my hormones are completely out of whack at that point. Like, you cannot fucking stop. You're like completely ready to fucking go at all times.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that, even though it doesn't mean that they know better. It's like Judah Friedlander's character in 30 Rock, where like he gets fucked by the teacher, and then as an adult he's like stunted, like he's being all childish and shit because he never actually was able to get past that relationship. It's an odd thing for me to bring up.
I do fuck with that show, man. I swear, every now and then a clip from 30 Rock will just pop into my timeline. I'm like, yeah, I'll watch this. But I never watch clips, but I'll watch a 30 Rock clip. I was thinking, like, I've been watching a lot of foreign films lately, and I think it's just motivated by I've seen all of the good English language movies now. There's every now and then there will be one that pops in and I'll watch and be like, oh, good. But I have to go elsewhere now for my media.
Damn.
I have to go to foreign lands to get my media. And I was thinking about this. Apart from like a handful of animes that I've watched in their original Japanese, I've never watched a foreign TV show, a foreign language TV show.
Oh.
And I'm wondering if, like, take Spanish language off the table for
Okay,
you. Like,
okay.
have you ever watched a foreign language TV show?
I think I've watched Arabic soap operas like with my family.
Okay.
Like during Ramadan, there would be like a lot of media that's being put out.
Let me rephrase the question.
Okay.
Have you ever, like, intentionally
On
watched,
purpose as an adult.
or not even maybe, like, intentionally watched something that was...
A show in a different language.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Not that I can think of.
No, yeah, and I couldn't either. Until this week, I started watching this show that's on Netflix called Dark, and it's in German, and it was like on a bunch of... I'd known about it for a while because it's on all these lists of the greatest TV shows ever or whatever, but I just never took the dive because it's straight up just...
Gotta read.
All German, 100% of it. The only time they ever speak English is when they're saying someone's name. Vashstein, David. Yo, it's time, David. We is about to rhyme, David. Yo, I'm blow your mind, David. I'm on Netflix watching German TV. What can I say? Auf Wiedersehen. Yeah, share it with me.
Tut mir leid. Your German makes me moist. Yeah, I'm watching a new TV show in Deutsch. And yeah, it's my favorite thing to do while smoking doinks. I'm about to move to Frankfurt until I fucking bang her.
Yeah, I'm in Germany. Yeah, this girl curving me because I don't watch her TV with her, even though she's free. And I'm gonna go over there. We're gonna watch Dark on Netflix. Yo, that show is trippy. Yo, the time traveling shit.
Yeah, I love going to Deutschland. It with my best friend, and we watching TV shows in a foreign language. About to be so fun. I'm eating schnitzel.
It's a cool beat change in there.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, it was like a time travel show that is it's very, it fucks with your mind because they keep like timelines intersect and then you get confused as the viewer. You're like, shit, is this the person from this year or is this the version of him from this year? Or but it's still like really cool.
Worth it?
I think so. It's kind of a chore to watch.
You can't watch it passively.
Yeah, and I often find that I fall asleep while watching it, but that's definitely not because it's boring. It's just I can't watch it while I edit, so literally I have to
watch it at the end of the day before you go to bed.
At the end of the day, and I can't look at my phone while I'm watching it, or else I'm gonna be missing stuff.
That happened to me with Shogun. I had to, which that doesn't count because that's an American show that's based in Japan, and it's not fully in Japanese.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I would get up to get something from the kitchen. I'd be like, oh, I can't just be walking away from this screen.
Gotta pause it.
Yeah. So I do think that's good, too, because I find myself struggling to pay attention to shows at the end of the night, like when I'm just winding down. And I do think that there's a level of it that is disrespectful to the person that you're watching it with, because like I'll be watching it with my girl, and then if I'm not paying attention and she's reacting to something and trying to like have a conversation with me about whatever, we watch a lot of trash TV, so whenever we're trying to fucking laugh and react together, if I'm looking at my phone, I'm literally not watching this thing with you, so we're basically not hanging out. Even though we're sitting next to each other, I owe you my attention. Even though it's not directly at you, I need to be reacting to stuff simultaneously with you so that we can have fun. Otherwise, I'm like just sitting by you.
Yes, I do think that I don't know. Maybe it's the result of watching so many movies with so many people. I've kind of gotten to a point where as long as the person isn't like watching something on their phone, I can just they can just do whatever or talking or whatever.
Yeah, I'm saying I feel responsible myself. Like if you're looking at your phone and I'm watching the show, I'm having fun, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I feel like I need to hold myself to a standard where like if you're engaging this content, that I could be also engaging to engage you, and so we can have a legitimate engagement.
No, I think now that you worded it that way, I agree. I will sometimes be like, is this a good time to maybe look at my phone for a couple of seconds while I'm watching something with only with someone else?
Yeah.
The thought is in my head for sure.
It's just the whole, like even today when we went to the sauna, I fucking left my phone in my bag because I was just like, fuck this fucking. I have a problem with my phone, especially in the morning. I'll get up and I'll go to the bathroom and start looking at it, and then it's just like the morning will vanish. Like the fucking hour and a half will go by.
I've noticed the last 2 times we've been to the gym, there has been a woman with severe anorexia.
Oh my god, dude! I noticed it. Go ahead.
And I'm trying to talk about this in a way that doesn't come off as making fun of her or anything like that.
It's the most severe mental illness. Like it's the mental illness that most people actually die from is anorexia. I'm
wondering what the purpose of the gym is when you're already that frail.
Well, maybe she's beginning to eat more and she's trying to put on weight, but I don't think she's in. You're right. She isn't in. I think this is my honest opinion. I haven't seen her actually doing an exercise.
You're right.
I think it's all part of the illusion. and the mental confusion. And I drive a Ford Fusion. Honestly, I like Fuchsia.
I got dysmorphia and anorexia, and I play sports with ya. I'm at the gym every day, my friends, because I'm getting it in, and yo, you can see through my skin.
Yeah, she's probably like, oh yeah, I'm working out for sure. Look at me, I'm out and about, and I'm at the gym doing squats. I do them a lot, but you know, it's just something that I got.
I only weigh like 75 pounds right now. If I try and do a pull up, I'm gonna go up into the clouds. Yeah, they're gonna shoot me down. Yeah, and that's just how it is. I'm not round.
You know what's something crazy? It's like she has obesity with the way that I keep on staring, as if she was a crazy thing.
Right. There is that, or like that she's super attractive and has her tits out. Like I can't help but just like look over there constantly, just being like, wow, it's one in the wild.
It's just funny. Yeah, dude. I noticed it because she was there last week when we went too. And I've never seen her before. I've only been seeing her the last 2 times at the time that we've gone, and it's worrying because like if you see a fat person, you're like, well, they'll survive,
right? And especially if you see them at the gym, you're like, good for them. Fucking that guy's,
we know you're moving in the right direction.
Good job, King.
Her, it's like, yo, you should
okay?
you should be at a restaurant right now. You shouldn't be here. You should be eating. It's just. You can tell that it's just you can't hide that.
Well, it to me it implies that has to be like one of the craziest mental disorders out there, because like you can like the proof is in the mirror, you know what I mean? But somehow they're not seeing it, which makes me like that. So that must just be like, it's almost like a schizophrenia. If you're anorexic.
I've heard this a bunch of times. It's literally the most fatal mental illness. Like the mental illness that leads to the most people dying from it is anorexia.
Do you know who there's an anorexic YouTuber who's like super famous. Fuck. I can't remember her name right now. I swear it's like Emojin or something like that. It's some weird goth chick name. I'll just look up anorexic YouTuber and she's gonna pop up. I guarantee it. Eugenia Cooney. Look at this lady. And she has like YouTube fame and fans and stuff. And like,
yeah, her legs are crazy.
That was one thing I noticed. The lady at the gym is worse than Eugenia Cooney,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Like the lady at the gym's legs, I could literally have put my whole hand around, I think, if I smashed her into the fucking
Oh my
side.
God. Dude, I'm so worried about her. And then you talking about her like that.
Like, literally, I could have broken her like glass if I wanted.
It's so terrifying at how real it is, because the closeness that she is, how close she is to death is visible. Like you could tell that. Yeah, she is so close to dying.
I went to an open casket funeral, the only open casket funeral I ever went to, and it was for my stepdad's mother. So I guess my step-grandmother. But open casket funerals are weird. First of all, let's let that out there. But she looked like a walking corpse. This lady at the gym.
Yeah,
like I would compare that to what it. Like if I was a child, I would have been scared of her. You know,
yeah, with a fat person, at least you're like, okay, they're fat, it's crazy, but like, for a fat person to really be dead, they have to like, fucking, it needs to get so bad.
You know what it is? Okay, so like you see that, you see this lady, and your first, it's almost like the same thing as if you walked into the gym and you were missing your hand and it was bleeding everywhere. People would look at you and be like, yo,
you need help.
Can we do something for you right now?
I feel like I need to help her. I'm like, yo, do you know that
something
this is happening?
Physically wrong here.
You shouldn't be here right now. I'm like, I'm worried about you. You should need to be doing something else.
Call an ambulance right now?
No, she's at an alarmingly low weight, and I'm sure people come up to her multiple times a day. I guarantee you, because
they're like, you look so good. I wish I had your body.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to understand. It's really hard to understand. And this might be the first time I've ever seen an anorexic person who is actively deep into the later stages of anorexia.
Now that
in
you
person.
bring it up, yeah, I've known a few skinny ladies in my life, but
that
none that
they might have had early
but
stages of anorexia.
They would get joked at, like, oh, you have anorexia, but it was like as a joke because they're so skinny, but they're not anorexic skinny. It was just a thing. That's there's no joking about that for sure.
It's not funny in any way.
No.
Dude. It's totally serious.
Man.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
How long do you think she could last in the sauna?
probably 1, 2, or 3 minutes at the extreme end of what I'm statistically guessing she can breathe. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm dying in the sauna because I be only weighing like 1, 2, or 3 pounds. I'm light as a feather and I'm not a sweater, so if you leave me in here, I'll be deader.
If I lost how much weight she weighs, I would still need to lose weight. It wouldn't. The excess body weight isn't how much she weighs.
Yo, it's crazy, Lo. I wish her the best, honestly. Best case scenario is that we continue to see her at the gym every week that we go there and that she's less thin.
You know what's crazy? She could be increasing her weight daily. She's probably super dehydrated.
You know what she needs to do? She needs to do the Rob McElhenery method.
Just drink ice cream?
Melt a pint of ice cream and drink that after the gym.
To be fair, it's not a problem of her not being able to gain weight. It's her not allowing herself, her psychology not allowing her to ingest calories. Like her brain is literally being like, yo, we can't eat, even though our body is begging us for food. That's how strong.
Have you seen that one? There's just a random, like almost, it kind of felt like a PSA episode about anorexia on American Dad. Like the main guy, I can't remember his name. I want to call him Peter, but the main American Dad guy gets anorexia, and like there's this reveal at the end that like he thinks he's this strong dude, but then they show how he looks in the mirror or whatever, and he's actually just this frail dude or whatever, and you're like, and it's a moment in the show where it's like it's not funny. You're just like, whoa, okay, like they just did a real thing for no reason.
Yeah, I don't surprise me with real ass shit all of a sudden. I want to get into it knowingly.
Yeah, no, it reminds me of that that Futurama episode where Leela gets stung by the alien wasp or whatever, and then it goes into this psychedelic story, but it turns out the whole time she was just like in a coma at the.
Whoa.
You don't remember that one? It
I
was
don't
one of the
remember
earlier episodes.
That's great. No, and or it's like how with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air got serious all of a sudden. You'd be like, all of a sudden it's about race.
Well, that was a whole remake. You mean in the show?
Yeah.
Well, that's a sitcom. They can do shit like that,
But I hated it. I hated whenever it wasn't just funny.
I honestly, there's moments like that in The Simpsons that are forgivable too because of just the vibe of the show overall. That they could every now and then break and get real, and it would work. But a show like Family Guy or American Dad can't do that. It'd be like, or even like South Park. Although I've seen some moments like that on South Park too. Between
they're more like sarcastic moments.
Sometimes no, there are randomly genuine moments between like Kyle and his father, or shit like that. But it runs the risk of feeling out of place for sure.
Yeah, all the voices are so crazy that anything anyone says always feels sarcastic to me. Like if the dads say anything, their voices are so goofy. Like the way that, like just thinking about them makes me laugh.
Well, people are just so irony poisoned nowadays that it's difficult to insert stuff like that into shows and it actually work.
Yeah.
An example I can think of, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia had a couple of hard-hitting emotional moments for me. Like the scene where Frank is watching Mac do the dance and he's like, I get it now. That was like a genuinely like heartfelt moment I felt that they threw in there and I was like, okay, this show just got real for a second. Yeah. And there's another one in a later season where Dennis has to No, not Dennis.
Charlie.
Charlie has to carry his dead dad up the hill in Ireland.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And he has a breakdown and he starts like,
I think that's like, that's the season right before last.
yeah, and that was another moment where I was like, damn, this show just got randomly real as hell. And
But it
like,
worked.
I'm over there, I'm like tearing up watching it too. I'm just
Because
like,
you've
God
laughed at
damn.
Charlie for so long
Yeah.
that I think that makes sense. They earned it. They earned it with you. They were like, you
Right.
love Charlie, the most lovable guy on here. He's so dumb and goofy. Like he drinks paint, does all this shit, and now all of a sudden he's carrying his dead dad up to the fucking mountains in Ireland. That's crazy.
Isn't there an episode? I'm pretty sure it's Always Sunny where like they show the world through his eyes and it's like all Disney or some shit like that. Or
I think you're right. It's not. It's not all. Is it all Disney?
I could have sworn that like there's like animations going around. I know they do it in The Boys with Black Noir. He sees a bunch of Disney characters, but I swear they did something like that with Charlie Kelly too.
Is it the one where they're all black? And they show it from his.
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't think so. That's a whole different concept. It would be weird if they inserted
no, but
animations.
I think they showed each person. Not animations.
Yeah, sometimes when you look in my mind, you see the things I see, and it's so divine. I'm seeing Disney characters out there flying. I'm like that one dude with the bluebird on his shoulder.
If only I could see the perspective of the three peeps that is most close to me, I would really been able to put myself in their feet.
I'm putting myself in David's mind. He's seeing stuff, and yo, it's always looking fine.
Oh.
He sees something, and it turns into food because he's fat. That's the joke here.
I wish I could know the way every fucking hoe feels about me when I go right by them in the stage
There's really
show.
no way to know what anyone says or sees. Yo, that's just how it is. You can't see it. For all you know, that I'm seeing something totally different than what you're seeing.
It's probably for the best that I don't know.
That is kind of actually trippy now I think about it. I have no idea how your eyes and brain are interpreting what's in front of you right now. I assume it's exactly the same way I am, but I can't be 100% sure.
No, like you might see the same thing as somebody else, but the way that they understand it is totally different because it's just whatever you see or interpret goes through all of your personal life experience and then spits out a different result.
This is yellow, right?
I mean, I agree that it's yellow.
Hell yeah. Okay, so we know that we got that on lock.
That's a fact.
Color. You might be seeing a different shade of yellow though.
Right, but then if I said, this is clearly a great cup,
I'd be like, no, that's blue.
it's great and blue.
Man, we talked about the anorexic girl. We talked about the foreign TV.
We talked about Diddy. What about this? There's a new Kevin Spacey doc I was going to watch because I just watched bullshit. And I fell asleep to it. But apparently, Kevin Spacey was just trying to grab this dude's dick on set.
Yeah.
It's just funny to me that this guy didn't even want to wait to be at an after party where he could set the scene. He was just like, nah, right now, right here, I'm gonna grab this dude's dick.
It seems like some old Hollywood shit. There's Sacha Baron Cohen plays a character in Eastbound and Down. That's like a TV producer.
Yes,
and he's got this young Paige, I guess, what's his name, Jack's character, and Jack McKell, or what's his fucking whatever his last McBrayer or whatever.
Yeah,
30 Rock.
Yeah.
So his young Paige who has herpes on his lip, and Sacha Baron Cohen's character also has herpes on his lip. And I think that character is just Kevin Spacey.
It's so funny. And then he did that weird cowboy video on YouTube, and then he was
The cowboy video.
It's not a cowboy video, but
You're talking about where he's in front of the fire for Christmas?
What I remember him wearing like a cowboy hat.
He might have been wearing a cowboy hat, but I remember it as like a Christmas thing. Like it was because he was playing his character from House of Cards,
Oh,
Yeah,
I've never seen House
yeah,
of
yeah.
Cards.
No, I swear to God, he was playing the character from House of Cards, and like he introduced himself as that. And
I
it
thought he
like
was in my head he was just coming out to the world. I was like, oh, he's wearing a cowboy hat. He's coming out. Okay.
No, it was just this bizarre monologue done in the style that I think is the character's name Frank.
I have no idea.
And yeah, it did not hit. There's kind of I don't know if you've been seeing this on the internet, but like people, some of the older Hollywood types are trying to get Kevin Spacey back.
Well, because he was he was declared not guilty in wherever the trial happened. I think it was in London or in the UK. They determined him not. The jury was like, he's not guilty. But I mean, the law's made up.
Yeah, but also, if I'm not mistaken, the accuser turned up dead.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
I swear to God that like the dude fucking died. So like,
Okay, well that's definitely suspicious. A strange overlap for me and Kevin Spacey in my memory is that I just always remember him as the enthusiastic journalist in the Disney movie Iron Will, where hundreds of men in like northern Canada go behind dog sleds in this race. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a Disney movie.
The
Iron Will.
Iditarod.
The what?
The Iditarod.
I don't know.
I think that's what the race is.
That's
called.
what the race is called?
I swear,
Bro, it's such a trippy movie. Like these dudes are racing in sleds in the snow with dogs, and it's called Iron Will. And Kevin Spacey's in it as an enthusiastic
older
journalist.
movie, right?
It must be like a 90s movie.
90s. Yeah. No, for some reason the 90s they loved dogs that pulled sleds. Like that was 90s to early 2000s.
Wasn't there a Cuba Gooding also with
Bro,
dogs and sleds?
Snow dogs, man. And that was another movie that was sold under the premise that you were going to show up to the theater and see some talking dogs in the snow.
And there's no talking dogs?
No talking dogs in the snow dogs, except for one scene where the dude hits his nog, and that shit happened in Kangaroo Jack 2. They tried to sell that movie like he was a black dude.
Fucking Cuba, like, bad Junior. Yeah, I'm sad, because I found out about this shit he did, bro.
Yo, he's also affiliated with that Diddy shit. Yo, I'm pretty sure Cuba was in it. He was trying to hit on some dudes with Diddy, and that was not very pretty.
Bro, I seen that pic with him with his arm wrapped around the producer's neck. I don't feel great about that shit, and I'm sure the producer don't. And his reputation is like, whoa.
Let's bring it back to snow dogs and dogs in the snow, because I love them puppies whenever they go off. They put some leashes on them in a sled, and I got no regrets.
No regrets.
Fucking, it sucks that, because, there were Cuba had some hits that growing up I was like, yeah, all right. But now that it's pretty clear that he's involved in some sus stuff.
Well, and I heard that his behavior behind cameras, behind the scenes, was always suspicious.
That and it's like it's because it's so fine to just be gay. It's almost more. It's so evil to be secretly gay. You know what I mean? Because
it just became sort of more widely fine. It wasn't as fine, I feel like, from people's social perception. There were obviously gay people who were like, it's cool in the 70s.
Yeah.
But I feel like
he is from a different time.
Mainstream, cool to be gay, like your masculine friends don't make fun of you shit. I feel like that's more recent.
Yeah, so he's probably, the very fact that it is such a scandal, because I don't think there's any, the worst thing that can be gleaned from the Diddy stuff is that maybe they were younger.
Yeah.
Because Diddy was known for that kind of stuff and getting young people to come to parties or whatever. But if all it is that Cuba Gooding is secretly gay and he would hook up with men at Diddy's parties, dude's in the clear. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But I will say this: he's also like in this second half of his career, he's doing a lot of like Christian movies and stuff, like these shitty, low budget Christian movies. And that is another like, you can't be secretly gay and doing Christian movies kind of thing.
That doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, the Fighting Temptations is always going to be a hit, you know, and no one can take that away from him. Also, the people who like those movies aren't tapped into this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if I was deep in a church right now, like really deep, believing it, doing that shit.
You're talking about the true Gooding Cuba heads.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I wasn't as tapped into like current media when I was disabled by religion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like way more sheltered. And I feel like adult Christians who are actively engaged in the belief system and are committed, they censor their own media
you could
on
also,
purpose.
You could also, like, if, like, say your mom is really into Cuba Gooding Jr. and then
She probably is.
and then something like in the news it says Cuba Gooding fucks little boys. One person would just have to say, "Oh, that's a fake story because the devil wants to take."
That's the
Cuba.
devil. That's the devil coming after our
And
brother.
and she would immediately accept that and be like, "Oh yeah, actually, he's just a persecuted Christian," and that's
then
fine.
all new news about it would also
It would fall under that umbrella.
Excuse would apply. So you have this now paradigm of thinking about Cuba that makes him flawless no matter what comes out.
No, my mom has been getting into Russel Brand lately.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned
because
this.
Russell Brand is apparently a Christian now, and I was like, there's no way he's actually. This is like a grift.
It's like how Justin Bieber's a Christian.
This is something that he's doing to appeal to people like my mom. You know what I mean? And then I sent her this video that was literally the day before. Like, he posted it like yesterday while I was talking to my mom or whatever. And it's just about him and how he incorporates his occult beliefs, like his tarot cards and stuff, into his newfound Christianity. And I'm like, Mom, like,
Look at
you
this.
see that this is bullshit,
This
right?
double standard.
And she was like, I can't believe you're attacking his faith like this. So it just goes
because
to
by
show.
attacking him, you're attacking her.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, he is what, if we were using the Christianese that we grew up on, I would refer to Russell Brand as a false prophet. And I should be able to...
He's a charlatan.
I should be able to refer to him that, and then show my mom the proof of that, like where he's talking about how he's still using tarot cards and that it's fine. And for her to just be like... she probably didn't even watch the video because in her mind the video is like propaganda.
That's what you need to do to protect your beliefs long term. Like, you have to actually force yourself.
You have to ignore things.
You have to force yourself into not developing intellectually, because if you become smarter and learn new things, you automatically are going to disprove your beliefs. So you literally have to like restrict yourself from learning new concepts and being able to perceive that new people are bad. You have to constantly be like, nah, how is something going to be true your whole life?
Russell Brand had like a whole stand-up tour around the idea of, it was called Messiah Complex, and it was the whole overarching theme of it was about the idea that someone who has said complex can do a lot of great things, and it was like, but like, the implication was that they're all just normal ass people.
Yeah.
Like, and that it can also be very dangerous or whatever. And he very obviously has the Messiah complex. He's been dressing like Jesus his entire career.
Yeah.
So it's just, to me, it's just so obvious. And the fact that you could show that to someone who has already made up their mind about his faith, and them still be like, oh yeah, no, but it's still genuine. He's definitely a Christian, and it's almost like sticking your fingers in your ears and going, la, 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 la.
That's really something that I didn't start to do until I feel like more recently, where now my feeds on like YouTube or social media and all this other stuff, or the people that I'm listening to on podcasts or whatever, all of the people that I listen to all have opposing views. It used to be that I would listen to like 6 people a lot and they all agreed on everything. Now it's like these 9, 10, 12 different people, and they're all like they all are opposites from one another, because I'm at a point now where I'm like, well, I like what this guy's saying about this, but then this guy's got a good point about this. Whereas before,
that's very healthy, and it's weird, I think, to draw a line in the sand about stuff like that. Granted, I have just recently, like, done that less. I don't know. Sometimes you open the door for alternative ideas, and then you start to notice some, then you're like, oh, okay, maybe this guy is kind of a bad dude.
well, no, yeah, you that's what's interesting too. Once you listen to somebody long enough, their reputation either solidifies or they prove themselves to be a fucking loser who kind of misled you for a while,
or just a straight up grifter. I there was a brief period where I was watching the Alex Stein show pretty regularly, and but it has sort of devolved into literally just making fun of the students protesting for Palestine and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is so, like, I don't find any entertainment in this.
Yeah.
And it seems cheap. This is what every other
Punching
conservative,
down. Yeah.
every other conservative thing is doing. And I kind of got into this character actor because he was doing stuff that I wouldn't necessarily have even aligned with right-wing conservative shit. It was just funny.
Yeah.
And now it's more of that. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm done with this fool. Like, that's happened with a few other people as well.
The good thing, though, is that I feel like, and it's probably the same for you, my radar is so sharpened at this point that when bullshit starts to pop up, I'm like, oh, that's bullshit, never mind. And I can, whereas even just 3 or 4 years ago, I was much more easily persuaded about just like, my bullshit radar wasn't as good.
Yeah, it's just bait. Have you seen anything regarding the new Romeo and Juliet play that's going on in the UK?
No.
So it's got Tom Holland of Spider-Man fame as Romeo, and then like an up and coming actress, a black woman, and that's an issue already.
Got it.
So like production photos of the play are circulating, and it's just a photo of Tom and this woman who is pretty. She's not the hottest lady on the planet.
Sure.
But it seems like because she's not incredibly conventionally attractive, she's just being thrown to the wolves here.
Damn.
Where like people who are shitting on this casting choice don't even know that it's a fucking play. They think that the new Romeo and Juliet's coming out and they've made her black and all this stuff. And it's so bizarre to see at that point, it is literally just pure hateful racism. You know what I mean? Because it's not the same as making Snow White Puerto Rican or making April O'Neil black or whatever. Like, there are reasons for a fan base to maybe feel a type of way about a decision like that. But it's Shakespeare. Like, literally, Denzel Washington played Hamlet 4 years ago, and he was praised for it.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Yeah, like you are just a fucking hateful racist. Like, it's insane that people
Also,
go that way.
Giving a shit about a play doing something, you know what I'm saying, that isn't crazy is just dumb. Like, why do you I guess people who are a part of Broadway give a fuck, but like to me, this implies that many people are on the internet being outraged simultaneously about this thing. To me, that seems irrelevant.
It's wild how racist people are on Twitter. It's like the floodgates of just awfulness.
Dude, I gotta piss really bad.
I guess I gotta pee too. We could do we want to
hit him with the Chris? We'll come right back.
All right. Nope. I hit him with the crickets.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Oh, let me just read you the beats right now.
All right.
And we'll go from there. Trench by Reese Beats, Peaches by Piper Beats, Milestones by Manuel, Loyalty by Lethal Needle, 2009 by Lex Factor, Runaway by Never, Detalles by Harold, Balance by DJ Cream, Outside by Louie, and Reborn by That Kid Goron.
Reborn. I'm reborn.
Do you get ads for plugins for DAWs still?
Every now and then. Definitely not as much anymore.
I've officially stopped buying plugins. The last shit that I bought was Omnisphere and Keyscape, which for those in the music producing world, those are like
Kind of like all you need.
those are staples that you don't really need to buy. I think those are you have to buy those because torrenting them is too hard, or maybe I'm just bad at torrenting. Installing cracks and shit like that, I'm not great at it.
No, you're not wrong. It's one of the more like it's the same way with Pro Tools. For some reason, Pro Tools they've set up their program to where you can't really pirate that shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of like active membership type stuff nowadays too, like with Premiere and
But
Adobe.
Premiere you can pirate like that. Premiere is like the easiest one to pirate, I think, honestly.
It's interesting.
It's weird because with Premiere, you don't even there are versions that I've found that you don't even need to do a crack or a keygen.
Just install
it's
it.
just install it and it's already fully ready to roll, which
That's
is
crazy
to me. But yeah, then there's randomly Omnisphere, because I tried to install Omnisphere back in like 2018 or some shit. That and another one, Waves, has a bunch of instrument plugins too that I tried to install and just couldn't make it happen. Like, and the torrent was there, but I guess just something like it was just too complicated. Like I thought I was following the instructions right, but it just never worked. And there were a lot of people in the comments being like, "Doesn't work."
Yeah, no, I just think that with music stuff, you have to get like to a base of softwares and things that you have that are working 100%. Because we've also had bad versions of like FL or Ableton sometimes, and that kind of fucks up your groove a lot of the time. So I paid for Ableton, I paid for these two big plugins, but everything else is just fucking stolen, dude. And not because I don't like these companies. I want to support these companies. I'm just not there yet. There's gonna come a time where I have the money. I'm gonna buy whatever costs money. You know what I'm saying? But at this point in time, I need to survive. I need to just get to the next level, and that's all I can do. But there's a couple pages that I found. Whew.
Where you can find all the plugins.
Where most of them are.
There was something. There's a few websites like that randomly for like Premiere and stuff like that. Yeah, like you, and I don't know. Some of them are more sketchy than others. And a lot of them require that you pay for some membership of like a file sharing website or whatever, which I did once and it worked. I didn't get my information stolen or anything because there was something I really wanted to pirate. But yeah, it's not convenient. I wish there was a real debrid for this shit.
And if I bought all the software that I really thought would be useful to me, I'd be spending so much money on software monthly, like an insane amount of money, at least $600 a month on software, like shit on my phone, like all of these things that have memberships.
Subscription models for computer programs is just straight up evil.
It's like, let me buy it. Let me just get it done with.
Like charge me for the upgrade. You know what I mean? That's
exactly
it. Like if I want to upgrade from Premiere 20 to 21, charge me $50 or whatever, and boom. You got
like
your shit.
committing me to a lifetime of doing this because it's my primary software.
Right, and they try and sell it like you get all this stuff, but I only need Premiere and After Effects and Media Encoder. You selfish pieces of shit.
No, they have to bundle everything to create the illusion of value for your money. So it's like, okay, your $60 is really worth all of this.
Yeah, dude, look, you get Adobe Acrobat. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Edit PDFs.
What do you think? Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, why not?
Guys, thanks for listening, watching, like, subscribe, whatever.
Yeah,
We're gonna have a guest next week. Patreon.com.
Patreon.com.
Links in the description.
And that is that.